Assalamualaikum. We are from team Malaysia Boleh. We'll be presenting on Sistem Zakat of UiTM.
UiTM is the first IPT in Malaysia to be authorized to perform out zakat collections and distribution operations except for the collection and distribution of charity and the collection of wakaf. The activity is carried out by the Pusat Zakat, Sedekah and Wakaf. It accepts payments for all form of the zakat such as the zakat wages, EPF and so on. Majlis Agama Islam Selangor has granted permissions to UiTM to carry out zakat distribution and collections operation since 9 May 1998. The collection zakat carry in two main ways, which are: first is the cash collection, second is a collections of salary deduction. The vision in Unizaka is to make sure UiTM world leading university in the field of science, technology, humanities and entrepreneurship. The missions of Unizaka UiTM is winning the development of agile professional Bumiputras through advanced curriculum and impact analysis. There are a few objectives in Unizaka. First, by giving asnaf to the staff and the student in UiTM. Second, extending access to higher education. Third, regulate finance effectively towards organizational sustainability. Fourth is sustain organizational by efficient and effective governance. Fifth is winning the effect analysis through a coherent research involvement. Next, we remove to the personnel and their responsibility. Naib Chancellor is responsible to issue the instruction, make an administrative decision, set the objective of the unit zakat UiTM and so on. All the information from the Naib Chancellor we give truly to pengarah to give and told their members down of his position. Pengurus wakaf is responsible to handling out all the activities of the collection of zakat, wakaf and distribution of zakat. He also responsible to establishing and implementing plans and policies of collecting and using wakaf money. Pengurus zakat and sedekah responsible for the formulations and implementations of program and strategy for the collection and distribution of zakat in UiTM. Unit Kutipan and Pemasaran responsible for establishing policy and strategy for awareness raising programs, follow the strategic plan, make zakat collections and identify opportunities to increase zakat collection. For the equipment that has been used in the unit zakat UiTM in their departments such as computer, laptop, multifunction printer, shredder paper machine, stationery and so on. Furthermore, other resource that unit zakat find outside from branch in Selangor to get money for help UiTM student that really in trouble for survive their life in university. Unit zakat also make sure they have a good in marketing.
So, as for the internal customers, the internal customers for zakat system of UiTM is the students and staffs. So, system zakat of UiTM does give priority to its student and staff who is really in need and they had financial issues. So they have to apply for a zakat through Island Portal, and then they will have to go through an interview session so that the panel could filter which candidate is really in it for it. So next, the external customers. The external customers for this system is the public. So the meaning of public in this context is people who is not related to UiTM, which is not a member of UiTM. However, system zakat of UiTM does not provide zakat for public, but instead they do provide alms for those who are struggling with their financial. So it is to help the public while look after the welfare of the students and staff both at the same time. So next, we will move into the core business of system zakat. So in system zakat, there are three core business, which is the administrative, zakat collection and zakat distribution. So to begin with administration, any business that is related to handling emails, paying the utilities and bills, and answering the phone calls will be handled by 2 administrative staffs. So as for zakat collection, it will be handled by Encik Izwan and Encik Hafiz. So Encik Izwan and Encik Hafiz were appointed to collect zakat from Jabatan Hal Ehwal Islam Selangor and other branches. So in order to make it possible for them to make a collection, System Zakat of your ATM have provided them transportation, since they have to visit Jabatan Hal Ehwal Islam Selangor and other branches frequently. So last but not least, the main system that we mainly focus on is the zakat distribution. So zakat distribution will be handled by Encik Faisal. So Encik Faisal will be a part of the interviewer panel, in which the panel will determine which candidate are qualified and then proceed with the approval and then payment to their personal bank accounts.
The name of To Be Improved is Zakat Your ATM by Unizaka. Unizaka use this platform for students make an application through online. As you can see on the screen, this is a flow chart as is process. There has 10 steps as is process. Step first, apply student portal. Students need to make an application online in student portal UATM. They need to fill the form and write the details such as personal information. Step 2. Check discipline. UATM staff will manage this step. Students with disciplinary problems can apply this process. If the student pass, they can proceed. For step 3, check UBBK. UBBK is a UATM disciplinary unit. UBBK need to check the data sent by staff before validation. Step 4 is validation. This step is taken over by Encik Hafiz. He is lead for the zakat application process. And step 5 is interview. This interview session is involve the student and the panel. The panel of the interview is the staff that manage this process. They will ask a few questions about students' financial problem and just take less than 10 minutes for one student. Step 6 is a list of interview. Encik Izwan will make a short list of interview for the student who complete the interview session. And step 7 is data entry process. This step is handling by Encik Faisal. He will collect the data for a student, include the amount that they can provide to the students based on students' financial problem. And step 8 is approval meeting. This approval meeting will be held weekly. The person that involved in this step is distribution committee. And step 9 is transfer money. Treasurer UATM will transfer money to student via check or bank account. Last step is a payment receipt. The student will receive the money by Treasurer UATM. Student can check bank account for the confirmation.
Current situation analysis for artists in the process of e-zakat are student. The process of getting zakat to be slow is caused by the student themselves because students do not update their personal data before applying. The important data for students to update before applying are phone number and bank account number. This cost often occur and will cause problem for students which need to fill in the information in zakat application for the second time. The second problem are time consuming. This is because staff need to key in each of the data from student in Excel manually, and the number of students who apply for the zakat is not small, and this causes staff key in inaccurate data. The third problem are corporate structure. In the process of applying for zakat, there are many departments involved, such as finance department, academic affairs department, and many more. Costs occur when each department is not synchronized. Each department has its own timeline, which causes the process zakat to reach students take time. This also lead to misunderstanding between one department to another department because they do not have the same direction in managing this zakat application process. The last problem are process. There is unnecessary process in applying for zakat, and the process causes the application of zakat to be slow and duplicated. For example, an unnecessary process is check tindakan tata tertib of that student. Staff need to check student tata tertib one by one, and this process has become staff have to do a lot of work and it will take a long time. As you can see on the screen, there is the fishbone diagram for artists in the process of e-zakat. So the first category are student, and cost is student need to fill in information in the zakat application for second time because students do not update their personal details. The second category are staff, and cost is time consuming because staff need to key in data manually and key in inaccurate data and need to redo. The third category are corporate structure. Cost by each department not synchronized because each department had its own timeline, and the second cause are misunderstanding between one department to another department because do not have the same direction in the managing zakat application process. The last category are process, which cause unnecessary process because tindakan tata tertib is not related to zakat application, and in the fishbone frame there is the effect which process to get slow.
The name and responsibility of each person in charge. It have 3 responsible person, which is first Encik Muhammad Nur Hafiz bin Muhammad Asri. He is the leader of Zakat officer in distribution section. He has authority to make an approval. Second officer is Encik Muhammad Faisal bin Alwi. He controls the overall procurement, development, maintenance of an information system. Third person is Encik Muhammad Izwan bin Ruslan. He is responsible to interact with the students, prepare a report, to interview list and send data to Treasurer UITM.
The name to be processed of the new system in Unizaka is e-Zakat UITM application. It has been suggested to improve the system in Unizaka for students to apply zakat. This new system truly connect with UITM that make easier for the committee members in Unizaka to check the details of the student. Next, we remove to the flowchart of the new system and cross-functional process map. First step, the student need install the e-Zakat UITM application. Second step, the student need to log in the application using the student ID and password. Third step, student need to fill Zakat registration form. Step 4, student need to set the date, times and panels for interview. Step 5, student will get the notification for the interview. For those students did not receive the notification, they need to start from the step 3 back. For those students that have received the notification, they need to further the step, which is a step number 6, for the interview session that involve the student and panel. Step 7 will get approval by the distribution committee of unit zakat, and the last step, the treasurer UITM will transfer the money to the student account.
Benefits of the to-be process are faster processing time of zakat application. In this process re-engineering, we change e-zakat process from the website to the mobile apps so that the time taken for the zakat application become faster. Mobile apps are more than 1.5 times efficient than website. Mobile apps can perform activity much faster and save student data on the device directly. The second benefits are Zakat application process is more effective. With push notifications, students will get information more easily and more effective. Therefore, as there are students who are very rare for them to open email every day, this will cause them to miss important information. But with this push notification, students will get important information more easily and more effective. Last but not least, get to improve quality of word process, because by using app, it will reduce chance of human error, because information details that student write will continue to be displayed on the person in charge in the Zakat application, and staff no longer needs to fill in the information in the Excel manually.
Qualitative measurement are ways of gaining deeper understanding of a topic. The qualitative method that are used by Zakat based on students' interview data. They will collect data from a student to application process. Next qualitative method is from analysis data. UiTM staff can get students' detail from the form that student need to fill in. In the form, it has the student personal information such as name, gender, state, faculty, and others.
Quantitative measurements is to measure whether the student has been registered for application of Zakat UiTM. An increase of an applications of Zakat UiTM about 70% in a semester. Another 30% assume that they are affordable for survive their life in university environment. Next quantitative measurement is to measure either student can accept online process as easier or not to them apply Zakat UiTM. Based on the survey, 90% of students agree with this system because our new environment of COVID-19 pandemic, while 10% of students did not agree with this system based on their own reason. They mostly satisfied with this system because it's easy to use and easy for them to attach the file.
So, what about the factors that are critical to success of the project? So far, we have identified 3 of the factors. So the first one is a methodology and project approach. The second one is time. And last but not least, partnership participation. So begin with the methodology and project approach. Starting from the installation up to transferring the money, Encik Faisal should have teamed up with a group of people who is very committed to the job. They should always be available on every discussion in order to get the best result for the new system that they are going to implement, which is the mobile application to apply for Zakat. So the second one is time. We knew that business re-engineering takes time. It does not take a whole week to complete everything. So in this case, Encik Faisal and his team should aware that re-engineering process does take some time, and proper time allocation are required in order to ensure that every step of the implementation process are on track. Moreover, the most critical part is to keep the executives stick with the program. They might have lost their interest in the project, and they might turn their back since the implementation takes a lot of time to complete. And last but not least, partnership participation. So business re-engineering does not require only 3 to 4 people in the organization, but instead it involves almost the entire people in the organization. So in this case, Encik Faisal and his team does not the only people who will be participate in the implementation of mobile application for system Zakat, but instead they might need to hire system analysts, IS professionals, or maybe outside business experts to analyze on the system and to consult with Encik Faisal and his team regarding the new system.